Hey guys, today we're talking about parallel lines and transversals. We're going to be finding the values of different angles in diagrams like these. Before we get started, be sure to press that like button for good luck. Let's go. Here we have these two parallel lines as shown by these red arrows here, and a transversal, which is the line that's cutting the two parallel lines. Our first step when we encounter these types of problems is just to understand the question itself. We're trying to find the measure of this angle, labeled by x, and they're helping us out here by telling us the measure of this 80-degree angle here. Now that we understand the diagram and the question, let's figure out the angle relationships that we have to use. By the way, here are some crucial angle pair relationships you have to memorize. You'll notice that there isn't one single angle pair relationship we can use between the two angles that we have, but we can try to get as close as possible to the angle we're trying to find. So, which one of these can we apply to get closer to the angle we need? Well, we can use alternate interior angles to find this one, right? That means these two alternate interior angles are equal. Both of these angles are 80 degrees. Now we can just use the fact that the angles are on the same line to find the value of x. If two angles are on the same line, their measures add up to 180. So based off of that, we can actually now set up the equation. Since these two angles add up to 180, we can say that 80 plus x equals 180. Solving the equation, we can get that x equals 100 degrees, and that's our answer. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of times there isn't only one way to get the answer. For example, you could have used the fact that these two angles are corresponding. Then the fact that these two angles add up to 180. So just use whatever works for you, obviously as long as you're using valid angle pairs and rules. Next problem. Let's try to understand the diagram and the question first. We're given two parallel lines, as you can see by the red arrows here, and now we have two transversals called M and N. These may or may not be parallel because they don't have these red arrows. Well, the question is asking us to find the value of x so that lines M and N are parallel. The problem looks a little different, but we can still use angle pair relationships to figure it out. Looking at the two parallel lines and transversal, we can't relate these angles directly to each other in one step, but we can get closer. Looking at these set of lines, we can tell that these two angles are alternate interior angles. Because they're alternate interior angles, that means the two angles are equal to each other. We still somehow need to relate this one with the angle we're trying to find, so let's use one more angle relationship. To make lines M and N parallel, like the question is asking for, that means these two angles need to be equal, right? Because for parallel lines, if they are alternate interior angles, they are always equal to each other. This actually gives us our equation that we need to use. We need to set these two alternate interior angles equal to each other so that 3x minus 200 equals x. Solving for x, we'll get x equals 100, which is our answer. Also, like I said for the last problem, there are multiple ways to get to this final answer. You could have started with this other angle, you could have used corresponding angles. There are a lot of other ways, but they're all correct as long as you use the rules in the right way. Last one. This problem has two parallel lines and two transversals that are now intersecting. The problem is asking us to find the measure of these three angles here. Let's see what kind of angle relationships we can use. The first one I see right away is that angle 3 and this 110-degree angle make up a line, so that means that they add up to 180. Not really an angle pair rule, but hey, it works. Right away, we have the equation for angle 3. It's the measure of angle 3 plus 110 equals 180. Solving, we'll get the measure of angle 3 equals 70 degrees, and we already have one of our answers. I don't see anything else we can do with these two numbers, so let's try to do the same thing. So what angle relationships can we use to find angles 1 and 2? Again, like in our previous problems, there's nothing we can use in one step, but to get a little closer, we can use corresponding angles. These two angles are corresponding, so that means they are equal. And now, because this angle and angle 1 are on the same line, that means they add up to 180 degrees. Now that we have our equation, the measure of angle 1 plus 120 equals 180. Solving, we'll get the measure of angle 1 equals 60. All right, our last angle. We have to treat this one a little differently because it's not one of the angles formed directly from the parallel lines and transversal. But if you remember, in general, the angles in a triangle always add up to 180. And because we already know the measure of angle 1 and angle 3, we can actually just set up our equation. It'll be 60 plus the measure of angle 2 plus 70 equals 180. Solving for angle 2, we'll get 50 degrees. Thanks for watching this video on parallel lines and transversals. If this helped you out, be sure to like and subscribe for more math tutorials like this. See you in the next video.